So you can do that.
Okay.
All right, go for it. And just walk in anytime.
Yep.
All right, so that's Links 1 that you're on right now, right, Jack?
Huh?
Is this Links 1 that I'm logged into right here?
Yes.
Yes, use Links 2.
Okay.
And you can step over there anytime to be able to look at other things. All right, I think we're live now. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist George Bailey here for Fox 45. You might have heard me just a moment ago speaking to my intern, Jack Anacarico. He is also here working alongside me tonight, being a summer intern who is in a meteorology program at school. He's going to be here helping us. As you can hear, my phone's going off. We got a lot of things happening. The radar is going crazy. We have storms that have fired up again, second night in a row. It was a busy 4th of July. A lot of people got hammered by some very powerful storms, and many of you may have gotten very lucky. But for those that were not so lucky and got hammered, man, those storms were nasty. Man, did they pack a punch, and did they cause some damage out there. Trees down all over the place, power lines. Many of you are still without power right now. But at one point, we had over 80,000 of you without power just in our region. So what we're here today doing, while we have soccer going on, of course, FIFA World Cup's happening on our station, we do not have a newscast until 10:30 at the earliest, but I think it's going to be later. We're going to do the live tracking for you right here, right now. We're going to be coming on for the next few hours. We'll be off and on anytime there's something to show you. But here we go. We're going to get to it right now. There's been a bunch of storms that have fired up. And we'll start with the big cluster that's out here right now, severe thunderstorm warning near Columbia and Laurel. This one's been a rather nasty one. It's at least a severe thunderstorm warning until 8 o'clock right now for Howard County, and does include just a small portion of Anne Arundel County there until 8 o'clock. A few other storms out there. One continues to fly off to the north. This one up here to the north on the border of Carroll and Baltimore County. And then we have others that have fired up over there in the eastern shore. But this activity is only going to increase in coverage. So we've got a lot happening. Let's take you through a couple of things. First of all, severe thunderstorm watch is up, and it's out for quite a long time. It's until 1 a.m. tonight, the whole area, as you see. So 1 a.m. that we could see severe thunderstorms. I'm of the opinion that this is not going to last all the way through 1 a.m., but it is officially in effect until 1 a.m. They could cancel it out at any point. Here's the other part that's going to be happening. It's not just a severe thunderstorm threat. Now we have a flooding threat. Flash flood warning still going on right now for Howard County. It's really western Howard County. They saw upwards of, I think it was 3 inches of rain. Is that right, Jack?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Come out for a second, Jack. I can't hear you in my ear, so maybe your mic might be turned off. Let's make sure that everyone can hear you. Let me check your mic pack. It's on your belt. Yeah. Yeah, he's just turned off. We're going to get this mic on. Give it just a minute to power up. I'll be able to hear you better. But here, come out. Say hello to everybody. Everyone, Jack Anacarico is here to track storms. A very smart guy, our intern here for the summer. So he has been very helpful alongside. I can hear you now. So what was that, 3+ inches of rain for this one right here? 3+ inches of rain. Pretty powerful stuff with that storm right there. In fact, I think we can look at the accumulation here. Yeah, no wonder. Look at all that. All right, so this, we're going to do a quick check. This is showing 3 inches of rain right there, and we'll have to see if those reports there are recent or not. Yeah, I think they are. Pull your mic in. I can hear it rubbing against your lapel. Let's do it on this side. Jack's learning the ways of TV. That includes of mic positioning. You guys are learning all the above. I can kind of tuck it in. There we go. And I'm sure everyone else is hearing it too. All right, so look, we have reports that have been out, and now this one's from the 5th. So this is at 6:43. Look at that. Power lines down, intersection of Spartan Road, Snowberry Way. That one's also from today, 6:46. Numerous trees down, intersection Damascus Road, Georgia Ave. So this is western Howard County. near Clarksville, and that's still been one powerful storm that's really hit out there. And we don't want that, we want this. There we go. We'll put this into a loop for everyone to see. And the one thing Jack and I noticed here is the storm sat over that same area for quite a while.
For over an hour.
Over an hour. Wow. And no wonder you had the flooding. And look, we got new developments right behind it. You know, these storms can pass over the same areas, and we had storms yesterday. Did you get a lot of rain and storms at your house?
We did, yes.
You did. What, any damage?
No damage, no.
No damage.
We avoided the
worst of it.
higher winds that we were up by the Phoenix area.
All right.
In northern County.
You're gonna have to show me where that is. I don't know exactly where Phoenix is.
It's near Cocky.
No, near Cockeysville.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's way up here.
I'm in here, yeah.
Okay, so northern Baltimore County, they did get clobbered with some heavy rain.
Yeah.
How much rain did you get?
Probably an inch to
An inch
and a quarter,
That
yeah.
makes sense. Everyone in chat, please feel free to tell us a few things. We're very interested in getting reports from you all, especially after last night. Let us know if you had any damage where you are located, if you got any rain, roughly idea about how much you've gotten. You may not have measured it perfectly, but that's okay. Just an idea if you had some really heavy rain. And if you have any new damage tonight, we need to know that. The more you can report to us, the better it helps us forecast too, and go back and make sure we know what's going on. So we have a new severe thunderstorm warning now. This is included down here near Bowie. I'm going to check this one. Jack, feel free to keep an eye on chat. I hear bopping out there. He's going to be behind the set, but he's going to be bouncing in and out. And if Jack hears anything of significance, Jack, just go ahead and talk straight to me. I can hear you. This severe thunderstorm warning is until 8:15. It is for Prince George's County, so it's down there closer to D.C., and you can see new developments. And the one thing that we are also watching, so that's, again, Prince George's County. I want you guys to see a couple of things. We're going to look at outflow boundaries here. Look very carefully, and you'll see this line coming straight in. You see this light green line? That's an outflow boundary. There's another one right here. These are the cool winds coming down from the storm. You know, when the storms develop, there's air rising, but after the storms started developing and they start producing heavy precipitation like we're seeing here, they drop an enormous amount of rain. The rain and cooler air falls to the ground, then it hits the ground and splashes outward. Kind of think of it as if a water balloon's hitting the ground, same thing. Or this water from your faucet hitting the bottom of the sink. When it spreads out, that cooler air rushes outward, and you're seeing the edge of the warmer air and cooler air from the rain. When those little boundaries you see collide, they form new storms. It forces air to go up again. So you're seeing new developments. We're looking like we are going to see a lot of new developments within this outflow boundary collision area right in here. So new storms have already begun developing back there. You can see some of them, but get ready to see things really get fired up out there and just more and more activity. So in other words, one storm can fire up another storm, which can fire up two more, which can fire up four more. It's almost like dominoes falling. As soon as you see one fall, it can cause all sorts of chaos to happen, and the dominoes fall to the ground. In this case, the dominoes are just individual storms. All right, I'm going to turn off the storm reports. Again, these are some hefty storms tonight, with several that are severe. We have one flash flood warning. It's still ongoing over there near Cooksville, but again, there's no storm in that area right now, but there could still be some residual flooding remaining. Getting some rain over Baltimore at the moment. Let's check in on a few of our tower cams. That's Towson. We had a good one over here towards the Inner Harbor. Whoa. Do we need to zoom that out, Jack? I think we might. That's the one that we saw earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to report while I change the cameras?
Nothing of note on the weather chat that we have access to, just the continuation of some of these flash flooding and thunderstorm warnings that are currently ongoing across the area. So we can expect these widespread showers and storms to continue as we head into our evening.
I'm shifting the camera over here to the left a little bit.
Okay,
It's a little bit wide. We were following a storm over here.
Yeah.
And it's just so hazy. Okay, there's the base of that storm. We were looking for this. So these are the storms that were further out there. It's becoming tougher to see because it's so hazy. So there's Cal Ripken Way. There's the stadiums. Jack, do we have a baseball game tonight? I don't even know.
We do not. They already played in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's great. Cincinnati is not exactly a friendly weather place this time of the year, but the last couple of days, this would have been the wrong place to be for that. Feel free to be looking at YouTube comments. We want your comments, questions too. We'll take your questions as we're doing this. So
we had
YouTube,
some questions
Facebook.
about Hartford County.
Yeah, fire up. What was
they can be expecting, just because they got a lot of rain yesterday.
Oh yeah, well, Hartford County, again, there's Howard County, so Hartford County up here near Bel Air, we are likely still going to see a lot of activity. I would be surprised if they didn't get much tonight. We can expect more. I think you would agree with that, wouldn't you? So let me check on a few things. Where am I at? I'm trying to get to the comments on here, and I'm not sure if that is the way to do it. I'll let you find out, because I think there is a way to find all the additional comments.
They're definitely coming in, yeah.
As the comments and questions come in, Jack's going to be reading them and talking. I'm going to try to fire it up here too, to make sure I'm following along, because I'm sure you guys are all interested in what's going on, especially after last night, because it was such a wild night. You know, Mother Nature made her own fireworks, of course, but this is still something that we all are trying to pay attention to again today, because it's the second day of it. All right, there we go. Now I got it. Is it coming across the bay? Yes, but we've already seen storms fire up across the bay earlier today. Look, we had a few of them riding the sea breeze and then coming in. So more of that activity. Really, the whole area is expected to get more of this. The rain's a good thing. This is happy to get the rain. We'll continue to have more of that, and something that we are loving because we have been so dry. The severe weather and flooding, not so much. So there's again, you look, it's starting to get darker out there, and you know that that's going to happen. At least all the clouds are keeping the temperatures at bay a little bit today. Mid 80s, upper 80s right now. We were in the 90s earlier today, but it wasn't as brutal as yesterday, where we hit 102 officially at the BWI airport. Jack, I don't know if you heard of any other high temperature reports in our area over 102. Did you hear of any reports other than that?
Not so far, no.
Okay, so that was yesterday. Again, the 4th of July was bad. Let's take a look at future skin now. I'm going to step this through for you so you have an idea of what's to come later tonight. And this is a general idea. You can't take this exactly as you see it. So if you see a big red blob over you at a specific time, no, not necessarily. It's just going to show you overall idea what the coverage of storms could look like. So here we go. Stepping forward through 10, 11 o'clock, this activity is likely to increase, become widespread, become very intense, with more of a transition from severe weather to flooding the later we get. But we're likely going to see this activity through 12 o'clock tonight, through midnight. And then tomorrow, we get another round of it coming in, except the severe threat, I think it's just a marginal risk for tomorrow. Is that correct too, Jack?
Yep, just a marginal
Just a
right
marginal.
now.
So that's a level 1 out of 5 threat for us. So it's not terribly, terribly strong. But you can still see the storms that are going to be coming in. They could pack a little bit of damaging wind punch, but we're not going to have those high temperatures like we're having them today. You got something for me?
They said the storm down by Herndon is making a beeline for the Potomac Musonet site, so we should get a wind reading there in a minute.
So well, that's good. We'll see. At least we can get a reading on it. But yeah, so the next couple of days, it's more going to be the rain that we could definitely use. So upwards of 2. From today's storms onward, that's after we saw the ones from yesterday. This is good rain. We need it, but we don't want it to be with the addition of the severe weather threat, of course. And then the very, very good news we get to spread. I like this. How about 80s? Okay, we'll get to the low 90s later next week, but it's not going to be so unbelievably hot. Did you survive? Did you even have a flash of power outage where you were? That was a good question.
We did not, no.
You didn't?
No.
I didn't either. No. I live up there north of the city too, but I know a lot of people without power, and some that are still without power right now. Not fun when it's going to be
when it's that
102
hot
degrees. Today was hot enough, but at least the next few days is not going to be as bad. All right, any more other questions you have?
Not right now, no.
Okay. And let me know if you see anything on radar that you want to point out too. But right now, we just have to keep tracking all this. So, latest scans again. Look at the cluster down there. That's firing up exactly where those two outflow boundaries collided. What we're talking about. They're just like little waves of colder air smashing into each other, and it just forces more air to rise. So the dominoes are falling over here, and then we have new storms out here that are not severe. But all the activity happening a little bit closer to DC from Laurel over, but Still, it's Howard County until 8 o'clock for these, but these new cells that are firing up are still going to get pretty hefty. But don't think that northern Carroll County, Baltimore County, and everywhere else is not going to get something. There's good chances of rain tonight for almost everyone. I think we're all probably going to see at least a few drops, if not a whole lot more, given the fact that we have this too, the flooding. Ground saturation is a bit of a thing after yesterday's storms, some heavy rain. Now we have nothing but runoff. That's going to be happening too, right? All right. If there's anything further in the chat, in the WS chat, did you hear anything else? In there?
Not yet, no, but
okay. He's going to keep eyes on it. Hey, Jack, Jan Anna Carrico is watching.
Nice, that's my grandma.
Oh, Grandma. Thank you, Grandma. Jack's thrilled to have all that on here. Storms leaving Elkridge. It was weak. Let's find Elkridge and let's see what hit there and what didn't. Elkridge is a pretty small area, I believe, and it's over by BWI. So BWI is right here. There's Elkridge, just next to the airport. So as you can see, Elkridge is barely getting clipped by it. All right. Look at how big and nasty this thing is going down 95. So you're getting what's called the anvil precipitation. That is usually more moderate precipitation. You can get some pretty loud thunder from there. But overall, it's usually just a light, menacing rain. And I don't know if that was the air conditioner kicking off or if that was some of that thunder that I was talking about. It could easily be. We're under that same anvil, just you're a little closer to it. So yeah, you're not even in the severe thunderstorm warning in there in Elkridge officially, just outside of it. But ask your friends down in Laurel, they'll tell you, yeah, it was a nasty storm. Ask everyone in Dayton, Brighton, White Oak, all the way over here towards DC, which are getting hammered again. And again, more storms firing up on the outflow boundary. Look at this. Jack, can you see my radar from here?
I can, yes.
Look at this. You'll see the outflow boundary right there, and there's two of them colliding here. There's one coming up from the south. Kind of tougher to see that one, but it's there. But the southern one, and again, they're just colliding, and boom, right over DC. You're going to see a lot more activity down here with these storms, given the outflow boundary that's smashing into it. You can just see it blowing up. Look at what's happening over Bowie now. So, Anne Arundel County, northern Anne Arundel County, Severna Park, all the way over to Annapolis, you guys are still in that zone with these storms coming in. They could easily clobber you. Again, we're talking about damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour today. Here's the good news. Tornado threats.
Very low.
Very low. Here's something that I know you can answer after we double check. I think that's the new warning for Anne Arundel County, isn't it? I'm sure of it. Yep, that's Anne Arundel County. Oh, and Howard County, too. Getting some of the bosses checking in on us too. So all the damage that was out there. 90% of the time people think that was a tornado. Why is it that we see so much damage in severe thunderstorms that's somewhat akin to tornadoes at times? It can look like it, right? But everyone swears it was a tornado. Why do you think that gets stated that way? So many people will just swear it's tornadoes.
Well, I think it's mostly because of the media. You know, you see the tornadoes in all the movies and things like that. I think that plays a big part in it. And also, it's arguably the most widely known weather phenomena, and not many people know that severe thunderstorms can actually produce straight line winds, oftentimes just as strong as the winds of a tornado.
Yes. Yeah. So these are all downbursts, which some people have heard of microbursts. That's just about size. Downbursts include microbursts, which are small versions of those. And then you have macrobursts, which are larger. Microburst is about 2.5 miles in diameter. Macroburst would be bigger than that. Every one of these storms is producing downbursts. That's the rain and wind smashing into the ground, spreading out, just like I talked about. All of that was what happened yesterday. Not a single tornado warning was issued, not a single tornado occurred, and we knew that wouldn't happen. We don't have a spin in the atmosphere. But what we have today is a lot of potential for these big downbursts, whether they're macro or micro, doesn't matter. They still can cause damage. They can make winds gust 50 to 80 miles per hour like we saw yesterday and cause a lot of damage. You don't have to have a tornado to cause all this damage. And that's a special marine warning going out. So again, you're hearing my phone going off with all the warnings because obviously they're coming out one after the other. Jack's going to keep eyes on things for me back in the chat. And again, you can just talk to me from your seat right there, Jack, if you want. Let me know if you have any questions. Just interrupt me. But again, all these warnings are ongoing now and new ones will be coming out. So here it is, buoy again. This is the cell that we were just looking at and it blew up, and that's the one that is still severe thunderstorm warned. And this is interesting. It's tough to sort all the warnings out because it's all the same cluster. But you can pretty much bet if you're in one of these clusters, you can easily see some very strong winds. Velocity, it's kind of hard to see, but within the velocity, you can see these brighter green spots. Every one of those is a downburst, which can give you winds 50 plus. So the bright green is what can happen. And again, the other problem is that it's almost impossible for the radar to pick up what these downbursts are going to do until after they've happened, because remember, the wind is blowing hard from above you. It's coming straight down. The radar can't tell winds blowing up and down. It can only detect things moving along the ground, side to side, so to speak, or toward and away from the radar. That's essentially what we're doing. So again, we're still watching. The severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 1 a.m. Same for the flood watch. I'm going to just try to turn off some of the clutter. This is getting a little messy for me. Flood watch. Jack, definitely let me know if you hear of any reports of damage of any kind too. So we're going to just keep eyes on this for the next several hours as the skies darken, and I know a lot of you folks are just trying to enjoy the last of your 4th of July weekend, but here we go again. It's round 2. And round 2 has a bigger threat for flooding and slightly less for damaging winds. Yesterday was pretty wild. We're a step below what we were yesterday. Just to kind of show you, I'm going to see if I can bring up the, here it is. This is what we're talking about. So we are all in this level 2 threat. You see that? That's that yellow color. Yesterday we were up 1 notch when it came to the wind. So we're in a level 3 for wind today. Did they upgrade that? They did. Let me double check that. No. They didn't. Okay, so we're level 3 for wind because it is just 1 step below. From yesterday, I think they did upgrade us a little bit.
They did.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's a new one. When did that come out? I totally missed that. It's tough to keep up with everything in the Weather Center. There's stuff coming out left and right. This is why Jack is here. He can help me keep an eye on things. You have any comments or questions?
Just a lot of reports of loud thunder, which
Okay.
can be expected with.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Yes.
All right, so this just changed. When I was saying literally a minute or two ago, I said we're a step below when it came to the wind. They just put us right back up again. So today is now back at being the same step with the damaging wind potential today as it was yesterday. And as you can see, it's bullseye right over us, okay? So just like yesterday. So the number of reports that we're going to get in for damage today, they're expecting to see about the same.
Yeah.
And the number of reports from yesterday, well, you know what? Let's just show you. And this does include the ones from today, I will say. But I'm just going to show you everything that happened. Holy cow.
Whole lot going on.
Holy cow. That's how much damage we had out there. Now, some places got hit hard, but others did not. Like, look at Harford County. You guys escaped some of the really nasty damage, but we saw the cluster that come through the southern side of Baltimore.
Yeah, near the airport.
Northern Anne Arundel County airport. I think there was a mile-long stretch of power lines down over there near BWI. So it was very, very busy. All right, I'm putting the reports back to today. So this is the reports that we've had from today. It's not many yet, but that could change a little bit. Let me look for any other questions we have coming. Arrival time for Harford County. Again, This could happen at any point, as we were showing tonight. So things are just now starting to get going. Timing is an extremely difficult thing when we're talking about these kinds of storms. It's not like a line that we're just predicting that goes from west to east. That is something that we can do with far more precision. What we are seeing here are these clusters that just sort of bubble up, congeal, and they fall like chaos on the floor. If you knocked over, like we were talking about dominoes falling, you knock over a few, how do you predict exactly when that one domino is going to fall when they're not all lined up? If it was a string of dominoes, then you can kind of use a stopwatch.
You can get the timing down, yeah.
But when they're all just chaotically placed and they could do all sorts of random things, that's what happens today because the steering winds above us are so weak. You're literally trying to predict that kind of chaos, and that is a very difficult, if not impossible thing. But we can say this, from now until 11 o'clock, so the next few hours, I would expect some storm activity to come through. Right now, up there, it's not too bad, right? Let's go back to the severe. There we go. So we're getting a few up in Howard County, Harford County right now. But it's not hitting, say, Bel Air directly, but you can see this cluster up near Jarrettsville, over near the Aberdeen Proving Grounds. So that's happening, Middle River. And then, of course, this big cluster is the one that we're still watching over there near Bowie Laurel, right up I-95. Anyone who spent the weekend in D.C. trying to come home right now to end the day, yeesh,
Rough commute.
bad timing. In fact, would you check on traffic right there? If you just look at Google traffic, that's fine. Let me know. Big dust devils last night on the shore when the storm came in. You know, that can happen. These little swirls of wind, and they're absolutely dust devils. Essex reporting the wind is picking up. Yeah, the wind will often pick up long before that happens. And I'm afraid I brought my drone. I was going to fly it, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to have some dry time to really get it up. But yesterday, I flew my drone just before the winds hit, and it almost took away my drone. The thing will still fly at 40 miles an hour, but those wind gusts were pushing 55 plus. And my drone almost got away from me. I was able to recover it, very luckily. Will the winds and lightning be as bad as last night? They absolutely could be. The lightning, if you're under one of these big storms, the potential is absolutely there. So if you're under one of these heavy storms like Laurel and Bowie are getting, oh yeah. They are going to be wild. They're going to be rocking and rolling. The winds could be just as powerful. We're still talking 50 plus. So that could easily bring trees and power lines down, just like we saw it earlier today, about a couple hours ago. Not quite in our area, just outside of Clarksville. And you can see all the reports over here in Montgomery County. So more of that to possibly come tonight. So this is why this is round 2, which could still be just a slight step below from yesterday. We don't have as much energy in the atmosphere, but it's pretty close. But the Storm Prediction Center still put us at the same level for wind damage potential. But again, we have more than just wind damage to deal with tonight. We have the potential for flooding. The ground has been saturated from storms last night. If you had a ton of rain last night and you get hit again by one of these, expect it to lead to some flooding. That could easily occur. So just keep that prepared. Jack, if you want to check both Facebook and YouTube, I know we're double screening
Yeah, I'm
on
checking
those.
traffic right now.
Okay, check traffic and let me know how it's looking up and down 95.
A little slow in the parts of 95 that are underneath that bigger cell right now.
Let's just come around and take a quick peek. I wish we could, you know what? We might be able to show this on our other computer, Jack. I think we can. Are you just on Google right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that right now. I think we can, because we can pull up Google Maps and just throw it over here on this monitor. You know, this is always a bright idea for anybody. Check Google Maps before you go anywhere. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. Yeah, it's not terrible. You're right. It's kind of showing some yellow, but we're not at a stopping point. Was it something else or what yesterday too, Jack? Did you see the roads buckled under the heat?
Yeah, this past weekend.
That was incredible.
That was crazy.
Our temperatures went well over 100 degrees. And remember, temperatures measured in the shade. And so the roads themselves were pushing 140 degrees. Asphalt and concrete get much hotter than the air temperature. So the roads, you know, anything heats up, it expands. And the roads pushing against each other kept expanding, and the roads literally buckled. And it shut down, I believe it was I-97 was shut down from that. And we had other streets shut down from that too. I know they're doing their best, but if it's not roads buckling from heat, now it's storms. This is incredible stuff. What a busy day we had yesterday. And of course, everyone's just trying to stay safe with 4th of July. Mother Nature put on a heck of a fireworks show for us yesterday, and I think she's doing it again. All right, so again, the severe thunderstorm watch, and this is the flash flood watch. You can come on in. Flash flood watch, that's in effect until 1 a.m. Actually, it's just a flood watch, but flash flooding. And then we also have the severe thunderstorm watch.
And you were right about the being a touch underneath the wind risk. Today we're at 30%.
Yeah.
Yesterday we were at 45.
Oh, it was up to 45.
Yeah.
For some reason, I made the mistake. I thought it was both. So we are still a step below, but it did get pushed up a bit from earlier today. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning for Anne Arundel County. This should come out momentarily. We're going to show you that one. And again, these will all be capable of damaging winds in excess of 50 miles per hour. If you see anything greater than that, like a tag of 60 plus, definitely let me know. So here it is. Brand new warning just came out. And I can keep the laps going. And there it is. So that does now include Severn. It includes Greenhaven, Glen Burnie, Odenton, all the way down to Crofton. So we were just talking about this. I said, Anne Arundel County, get ready. There it is. Let me put this side by side. So Anne Arundel County in effect until 9:15 p.m. So that does include a lot of folks. We know we got a lot of people that live down there. Please write in your chat if you lose power, especially for more than just a few seconds. If it goes out completely and you're cut off. Very important. Will this affect Arnold? Our radar looks clear. I need to find out exactly where Arnold is. I'm sorry, I am not completely familiar with everybody, but I will figure you guys out. I've been here for a couple years. Oh, that's right. Arnold's on the way over there towards Severna Park. So, yeah, I think Arnold, you're probably still going to get something because this is where you are. Yeah, the radar's clear, but these storms are going to continue to spread out and cover most people. Does that mean you're going to get severe weather? No, it doesn't guarantee that. Doesn't guarantee that everyone's going to get severe weather tonight. That's not going to happen either. But these storms will be scattered. They're going to continue to congeal and become more widespread. And then inside the most intense cores of them, like we're seeing over here near Laurel Buoy, over near Ferdinand Ferndale Farms, Severn, these storms are going to produce those winds that push out away from the cores, and that can still get very gusty. We saw trees come down all over the place from those winds. But you can still get missed by the rain. It's pretty crazy how that happens. Anything new to report, Jack?
Some flooding ongoing in Montgomery County right now.
Okay, so that's the flash flood warning in there. Again, 3 inches of rain in a matter of, about an hour, hour and a half. That's a lot. So that makes perfect sense. If there's any new reports or any new questions in the chats, just let me know.
Will do.
Still checking you guys out. We're still just kind of following this along tonight with everybody. We want y'all to have a chance to be able to follow us because, again, we have soccer all night long. We're not going to come on the air unless it's a tornado warning, and this is a better way of doing it. You can still be watching the FIFA World Cup right now and still be watching the weather at the same time. This is the point. Give you guys all the latest information, and this is what we would be doing here anyway. We'd just be following the storms, tracking them. We might step outside for a few minutes and have a look for ourselves. We are meteorologists. We do like to get a good eye for it for ourselves. We do have a few cameras out there, but let's be honest, the camera doesn't do it justice. However, ooh, Jack, look at that.
I have no idea.
What do you see? Do you see the camera here? Got some scud coming down. That's a nice, strong thunderstorm base, some scud there.
Also got some trees down in the Tacoma Park area, so also Montgomery
trees
County.
down in Tacoma Park. Again, that's Montgomery County. These storms are continuing to grow and expand outward, away from us, so we're going to continue to see more areas covered. We're going to take that full for just a minute, and you can stay here and watch for a second. I'm going to check up on one more thing here. And he can, you can pan the radar around if you want to switch over to the radar at any point. Just minimize this. Don't close it. Not the X right here. That's the one that you want. Otherwise it shuts down the stream. All right. Yep. Jack's going to pan the radar around a little bit while I check up on a few things.
So basically all what's occurring now, all of our severe thunderstorm cells are currently, again, basically between Baltimore and DC, so definitely closer toward the nation's capital. Again, still have this flash flood warning for parts of Howard County from earlier. And again, we'll just continue to watch for these storm cells to grow and expand as we continue into the evening.
Hey, Jack, are you familiar with Reston?
I am not, no.
It's in Virginia, actually. Some trees fell on houses there from these storms. These are still those.
Yeah, was
very
that the
heavy storms.
Fairfax County one?
It looks like it. It would be over here. Yeah, it would be these guys right here.
Yep.
There's Reston right there. So that cell that came through, look how quickly it moved through. I believe there were reports of some trees on houses there.
Yeah, which they just popped up on our
Yep. If you click those, they should
wind report.
pop up. Yep. Tree down.
Tree down onto a home. Yep.
So we've got, and that's the concern today. This is why you can't be in a small shelter. You need to be in a well-built home. And when these storms come through with these winds, if you've got some big tall trees around you, you really, really should be kind of near the interior of your house, not near the windows. You should be on the lowest floor. If you have a 2-floor home, lowest floor. And, you know, it doesn't take a tornado to make a really bad mess of things. So very important that everyone is still taking this seriously. And as we told you all again, it doesn't take a tornado to cause all this damage, even though everybody, 90% of the time, when
you
we
hear
see
these damage reports, it's associated
90% of the time, people say, I swear it was a tornado. It has to be a tornado. How could this not be a tornado? Guys, this is why we have severe thunderstorm warnings, because they are just as dangerous as small tornadoes, if not more dangerous, because a small tornado, the width of it may only be 50 yards wide.
Especially in this part of the country.
Yes, that will be pretty narrow, but a storm of this size can affect an area 10, 15, 20 miles in width, all right? So you'll have almost EF0 to EF1 type damage in a swath that's
much larger.
15 miles wide. I mean, that's huge. So if you don't want to feel like you're in a tornado, it will still kind of seem that way, but better to be safe about these when the big ones come through. And that's when that first gust comes from. Remember, you will get hit with the wind a lot of times before the rain hits. And there's another thing for you. The lightning safety. What do you have to say about lightning safety? I'm sure you heard it your whole life. Why don't you just go ahead and regurgitate it to
When
everybody?
thunder roars, go indoors.
Thunder roars, go indoors. Why? Because if you can hear thunder,
you are close enough to be struck by lightning.
To be struck by lightning. You got it. Nailed it. This guy, I don't need to teach you anything else. He's smart, folks. He's getting ready to become a meteorologist at Virginia Tech is where he's studying. He just finished his freshman year. And he's honestly a very, very bright young man here. So thank you, Jack, for being here tonight.
Of course.
Again, he's volunteering his time to be here to do this side by side. So he's learning a lot at the same time.
Happy to help.
World Cup delayed due to weather. Yes.
Yeah.
No shock there.
The second straight time we've been delayed in Mexico City.
Here's something else that people don't know about him. He's a big sports nut, and he loves baseball. I'm not trying to sell you too hard, but good to have that combo of weather and sports together because you can keep on top of it all. All right, so let me know if you see any new comments on things. I'm still watching my live chat at the same time as I'm following everybody else's. But Jack is great to have on staff here with us tonight, even if it's temporary just for the summer. He's got to go back to school. He's got to finish his degree. All right, so storms continue to roll through. I'm going to put it back in motion for everyone. The last 2 hours, we have seen things really increase in coverage. Look at this. Okay, that was 6:30. We had 2 storms out there. And then, boom, they just started exploding all over the place. So we're seeing them everywhere now. The rain, again, mostly a good thing. Getting too much, not a good thing. But we could definitely use a little bit more. One other programming note for Fox 45, because the World Cup is delayed, we were going to be a little bit delayed, by till around 10:30, and now it looks like we're going to be further delayed. So we may not be on the air with our regular newscast, which would cover everything weather-related, including whatever damage and flooding that might occur tonight, until after the game is over, which may not happen until 11:30 or later. So it's going to be a late night for us here. But if you are looking for information about weather, you're going to have to come here to our live streaming. We're going to continue doing this. We may cut out and take a break here and there, but we're going to continue to bring the live chats off and on, or the live streams off and on. All right, so it looks like everything's really pushed into now southern Baltimore City. That one's looking west. I'm going to give you a couple more camera views. I'm going to bring this up full. So there's that scud cloud. There's the lightning flashes happening. You see those?
Yeah.
We have to go behind the set to adjust our cameras, ladies and gents. So I'm going to do some more panning around of our cameras to see what we can see out there. This is our eyes in the sky, you know what I mean? So, if I can get it to load, it can be a little slow on me. That's still some low-hanging scud right there, and you can make out the precipitation. I think some of you guys can see my cursor. Right there on the edge of that, it's where the wind will really begin, and then right behind it, where the trees are starting to disappear, is that very intense rainfall. And the really intense rainfall is what causes these very strong winds. Remember, the wind is pushing to the ground, and sometimes you can have a little bit of a cloud indication if you see a nice sort of a straight, linear looking cloud along the edge. It can sometimes give you a clue. That would be a shelf cloud, or sometimes even a roll cloud. That can be amazing. I'm trying to look at some of our other cameras if I can get them to load. This is just going a little slow for me. There we go. There's our wide view camera. Again, this is downtown Inner Harbor, so it looks like the heavy precipitation is just about to hit near the stadiums. And now I can pan around and show you the others.
We have a question. What time will it start in Cockeysville?
Same thing. Yeah. It's tough to put these together. Cockeysville, you're kind of in between cells right now, but it could. I know everyone wants to know what time. We can't tell you exactly what time down to the minute.
It's starting to pop up over Cockeysville.
So there it is. Cockeysville's getting
probably
rained
soon.
on. And that's how quickly that can happen. Even if you're tracking individual storms, where that storm is doesn't mean that's where it's going to go. Look at the way that this is progressing. Let's just put it in loop form for them. That the way they can see this. This is sheer chaos.
How chaotic it is.
It's absolute chaos. You can't put a single cell track on these like we can with even tornadic storms, which generally take an overall direction off to the north and northeast. But these cells are they all have minds of their own. So you cannot predict the exact timing because they can pop up in one place, they can disappear in others. But more importantly, that's why we give a time frame. We knew that between around 6 o'clock through 10 o'clock, this stuff would really be picking up steam and really going. And now here we go, 8 o'clock, and it's starting to fill in quite a bit. I'm going to point the Towson camera around here in just a minute. So again, the radar is totally full of activity. Here's what it looks like looking to the west from Towson, from the south. We have, unfortunately, a lot of obstructions here from our Towson camp, so it's tough to see. You know, there's the tower it's mounted to. Now this is looking a little bit to the north towards Cockeysville. So you're looking not quite due north. That's right there is due north, but again, it's blocking. So Cockeysville is off to the far left, right in the way of the tower. But another area that could get easily hit pretty hard by storms tonight. But we're going to check in, and we're going to keep an eye on the Inner Harbor. Oh, man, look at that. Now it's starting to pour rain over there. So heavy, heavy, heavy rain and lightning coming in to downtown Baltimore at this very moment. There it is. And it's going to be nasty. You're going to see lots of lightning.
Stick around for a while, too.
Jack, if you want to pan around on the cameras there, it's just a click and drag with the left mouse. And you can do some gentle panning around. Let me get back out here on set. So while Jack's panning the camera around, you can see the very heavy, heavy rain coming in too. I'm going to continue to watch the camera, but I'm also watching the radar here because, again, southern Baltimore City getting hit with it very hard. So the Inner Harbor area, again, second time getting smacked with this. Yeah, keep going slightly to the left, little by little. All right, pause it right there for a moment, Jack. Again, these storms continuing to look rather impressive when it comes to the heavy rain and lightning. Okay, go to the left a little bit more, and you can pan up a smidge too. So you're seeing the strongest of the winds coming in right now due to the heaviest rain. Oh, look at that scud cloud right there.
Yeah.
All right, so that's some of that indication. Move it just a little bit more to the left. And we'll continue to watch this scud cloud building. When this scud cloud's building, that's where the mouth of the storm is. That's where it's feeding on all that really, really high humidity and warm, moist air. That's where the storm's going to continue to grow and intensify, right under that scud cloud. You see that. So some very torrential rain right there across the river. I'm going to pull up the radar now for everyone to see where we're talking about, get hyper local. All right, so here we go. So this storm just blew up, and there it is over here towards Brooklyn Park and south, just across the river. So places like Dundalk, no rain yet, but everywhere down there just outside of Baltimore City, Elk Ridge over there towards Glen Burnie. And we were talking about here towards...
New warning for the city.
Say that again?
New thunderstorm warning for the city.
Okay, for Baltimore City. I'm wondering if it's just going to be on the edge. There comes
It's
the
not.
rain.
It includes the station.
Oh, there it
actually.
is.
Yeah.
They're expecting it to progress further north. Okay, I was wondering if it was just going to be the southern edge. So Jack's on the ball with this. Look at that. New severe thunderstorm warning until 9:15. Includes all of Baltimore City. They're expecting these winds to gust outside of the rain. So that's what I think this has got to be for. So again, till 9:15, severe thunderstorm warnings. And this includes all of Baltimore City, or pretty much all of Baltimore City. One tiny little corner's cut off. All the way up to Towson, Essex, Rossville, Dundalk, and over there eventually getting closer towards White Marsh. But everyone's in it now. And again, these winds can easily push outward because this might be the edge of the rain, but the wind can be right here and continuing to push north away from the storm.
So these are the types of storms where you might see that damaging wind gust before it starts to pour down rain?
Exactly, exactly. And lightning too, which can strike well outside of rain too. That's why you don't want to be outside just because it's not raining yet. The storm's not here. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. When those winds pick up and they hit you and bits of debris start raining down on you and branches snap and trees start falling, you're already in the storm. It doesn't matter if it's raining or not. We'll just take a look at the velocities. Not terribly bad on here, but again, these downbursts are so hard to see when it's like that. You just don't know. So again, the severe thunderstorm warning still in effect. Ooh, there's an interesting one. Look at this. Now this is what we're talking about. Sometimes you don't know what's happening until it's happened. This is some of that's microburst criteria right there. That's about the size of what a microburst would be. So if you are near Pasadena, Green Haven,
that's an area that got hit hard.
Bingo,
yesterday.
They did, and they're getting hit again. Goodness, and they might lose some power. We'll keep an eye on the BG and East. But the progression, I mean, you see, it was hardly there earlier, and then boom, it's right over the top of it. So these winds are continuing to push out, especially off to the northeast. So with the potent winds that we're seeing out there, you could easily be getting hit hard, and even though it's showing up within the rain, you know, there's some of these areas that are going to get hard even outside of it. Wow. Wow. Second day in a row and everyone's getting just absolutely hammered. Jack, I'll be able to pull up the current power outages here in a moment.
Cool.
So I'm good on that. Just let me know if you have any more questions or comments. Please leave them in the comments. Jack, as they're reading them, you guys can get them to me. The one thing we cannot answer tonight is what time will it hit my house?
Someone asked a good question.
Yeah.
Can the scud clouds turn into tornadoes?
Ooh, that is a good question. You want to answer that for them? Jack's still learning. The answer is
yes.
sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes they do. But the environment has to be right for them, okay? Today's environment is a no. Sometimes when we know we have a lot of rotation in the atmosphere, those scud clouds are precursors to tornadoes. But it's not always. But that's on days when we have a lot of spin and rotation in the atmosphere. They can actually begin as rotating scud or a wall cloud, and then that will precede a funnel or a tornado touching down. Today, not going to happen. What those scud clouds are showing you is that storm's nasty. It's eating, it's strong, it's hefty, it's a big boy, and it's going to continue to pack a punch when you continue to see big scud clouds developing like that. Good question, but today's not the day we are worried about tornadoes, not at all. And we don't need to worry about it, whether it has tornadoes or not. We know it's going to be a bad day. Wow, look at there. You want to pan the camera a little more to the left?
Yes.
Point it a little more towards Inner Harbor. Should be a little bit more easterly. So you're looking over there towards the towers there, Inner Harbor. And I might switch over. Look at all the lightning going on. Wow. Just gently move it over a little bit. So the rain is coming down, and it's coming down hard as Jack's panning the cameras around. So there's the Inner Harbor. It's hard to see. I mean, it's starting to get dark, of course. It's 8:30, but look at what it looks like in Towson right now. And there's the Inner Harbor. Wow. It looks like nighttime at the Inner Harbor. You just go up to Towson. Oh, it's still kind of an okay day. Now that's where we say it's local. Just because it's pouring at your house doesn't mean it's not pouring everywhere else or where it is, and vice versa. It could be, hey, it's Towson. It's not raining. Where's all this rain and thunderstorm that the weatherman was saying? Meanwhile, in Baltimore, not in Towson, getting slammed. That's incredible. Just goes to show you how local weather can be. Localized weather can be. All right, so again, storms continuing to push through off to the north. That's severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:15. We don't have any reports yet over our area yet. Is this a hail report? Yeah, hold on. Stand by, Jack. We have a hail report that just came out. It's from this cell right here. Look at this little guy that went through Eastview earlier, Carroll County. 1-inch hail. That's quarter size.
Wow.
That's a good size hailstone reported out of there. Interesting. Usually when you have an environment this warm, it's tough to get some hail, but these storms are still going to be capable of some hail. But by and large, we're talking about the damaging winds. There's the flooding you were talking about.
Gusts just 20 to 30 in Glen Burnie.
Okay, so not terrible in Glen Burnie. And that's right in the core. Very, very heavy rain right now. But you can see where the stronger winds near Long Hill. Looks like they just missed Glen Burnie just to the south. So again, Long Hill, Greenhaven, these are all propagating outward towards Lakeshore over here in southern Anne Arundel County. That's what we're seeing there. So again, the areas that have not been hit yet by heavy rain, this is where those stronger winds are coming. You can include Brandon, George too, even though it's pouring rain up there already. And then looks like Dundalk's getting hit next. So again, this cluster is the one that we're focused on. Again, that's one that hit everybody really hard last night. Meanwhile, again, northern Carroll County, northern Baltimore County, it's fairly quiet. That little cell that went over Cockeysville didn't last long. It was just a little bit of rain and it's done. It doesn't mean you are done for the night, though. And again, everybody that's watching, feel free to share this with everybody. Like, again, we're tracking this and, you know, letting everybody know what's going on. And especially if your power goes out, we're not going to be on the air with this. You know, FIFA World Cup's going, so we're tracking this live here. Is this the new warning? What happened? Nope. Still the same warnings for Anne Arundel County, 9:15. So Anne Arundel County, and Baltimore City all included. And we had some storms in the eastern shore earlier that were a little nasty. Several trees down over there in Queen Anne's County and others in Caroline County. Numerous trees down, power lines down. Are you getting the idea of things? I think we kind of have a theme. The theme is these are big storms producing wind damage, down power lines, down trees, and flooding potential to come later on because they could backbuild upon themselves. They could become very slow movers, essentially, and just drop a lot of rain. We'll take a quick peek at how much rain has fallen over the last 3 hours or so. And you can see where it has poured rain. That flashing green box is the flash flood warning, and that's where they've seen 3 inches plus of rain. But it's still pouring down pretty heavily back there. Looks like Laurel's getting a little bit of a break right now, too. All right, back to the cameras. Anything you want to point out? Wow.
Nothing in particular. I could switch to Towson in a couple.
Yeah, we can do that. But if you want to spin Towson around, in fact, you know what? Let me do that. I'm curious because I think it's incredible how different these cameras look.
The two locations look.
They're not that far apart.
No, not at all.
And we are seeing just an absolute dark of night, almost, I don't know what to call it, blackout, but it is practically blackout. Let me switch over to the Inner Harbor camera. It'll actually click the Inner Harbor camera.
Some lightning in the Towson area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Obviously.
Let me go over here. Inner Harbor camera. Oop. Get this over here. So, what's going on? It's just going a little slow for me. All right, so there's the wide view of the Inner Harbor right now. Absolutely dumping rain. It looks like a complete dark night. Pretty incredible. And then another shot.
Yeah, that's even darker.
Yeah, I mean, these cameras are slightly different. They have slightly different settings, but it's not so much that it would do that. This is actually a big difference. Big, big lightning flashes. All right, I'm gonna pan the camera around to Towson now, and we're gonna see if we can see what's going on.
That might be north.
Yep, we're looking east now. We have a view to the south, southwest. So it's dark back there, but it's not as dark as it was from the Inner Harbor camera. That's because you can't see the fact that that's what the storm looks like from a slight distance. But once that cloud's over you, it turns dark as night. Still quite impressive. All right, back to the Inner Harbor. The Towson fixed cameras are there. Just so impressive. I'm going to pan around on the Inner Harbor a little bit. This is as wide as I think this camera goes, yeah. But it's sort of a good thing. I know it was very hot for Sail 250, but we're lucky that we had Sail 250, even though it was very hot for that part of the weekend versus this weekend, because, wow, it was still brutally hot, and then we still had storms around. It's becoming so difficult to see anything out there now.
The visibility's a bit bad, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with rain this heavy, I can understand, and we're just gonna have to leave it parked. So we'll leave it parked over the Inner Harbor for now. So a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings out there. Again, the watch is officially out until 1 a.m. It doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way, though. I'm getting a message here from someone in Essex showing those dark clouds looming, coming in. We'll keep following this. All right, come back out, Jack. The rest of the area is not totally untouched. That was a good lightning flash we just had, wasn't it? So the rest of the area is not totally untouched, but it is not. It's not going as heavily as the rest of the area right now. So again, live sweeps of the radar. It's about this huge cluster over there in Anne Arundel County and Baltimore City. New rain falling over here. That's not good. So the area that's in green is flash flood warnings, and they've already had 3 inches of rain, and now that's newer developments over the top of it. They just got hit again with some very heavy rain on that area with flash flooding. So they probably got another 1/4 inch of rain or more off of that.
We also have that cluster up in southern Pennsylvania. Could kind of sinking air in between these two complexes be causing northern Maryland to maybe stay drier for at least the time being?
Now, further to the north, we had tornado warnings near Harrisburg. The environment there is far better for anything tornadic. It's closer to this front that we're watching, but it's not quite here yet. Just the direction and propagation of these storms is just so incredible. You see some that just take a beeline up to the north, and then others that stay almost stationary to traveling and propagating southeastward. It's just amazing, isn't it? It just goes to show you how difficult it is to predict the movement of these storms. But either way, all these storms off to the north can still put out these same pools of cold air that hit the ground, splash outward, and they collide with each other and cause new storms to form. So northern Carroll County, northern Baltimore County, Harford County, Cecil County, you've all got a chance to see some activity tonight, and it still is looking good that there will at least be some rain for everybody tonight, but not everyone's going to see the severe weather, and that's a very good thing. I think we have some internet issues here. Hopefully our stream is still working. Anything new on Slack there?
Nothing new for anything of note now. I'm
gonna see if I can check some other feeds here. We're trying to gather everything. It's just Jack and I. You know, it's a weekend crew, so it's a skeleton crew tonight. But we're still trying to track it the best we can. But there has been a lot of activity, and a lot of it is really fired up in the same way, just outflow boundaries colliding with each other. And you've heard me talk about these things a lot because that's been the trigger for today. But every one of these storms is producing downbursts. Downbursts are the heavy rain-laden air that's been cooled by the rain, and it's coming down very quickly. And it's coming down as if you were to drop a water balloon and it splashes outward. And you can almost see the shape as it spreads outward if you were to drop a water balloon on the grass. Maybe a few of y'all did that over the 4th of July, had a nice water balloon fight. It hits the grass and spreads out. You can see all the blades of grass spread out in that direction. That's how you know it's a downburst. But in this form, sometimes they can be moving at an angle and hit the ground, and it can still push everything to one direction, and some things, you know, not push backwards. So it's still a very interesting pattern how the damage develops. But once again, these downbursts, whether they're small scale, we call those microbursts, or they're a little bit bigger scale size, a little bit larger, we're talking about over 2.5 miles in width. Those are macrobursts. Doesn't matter. Each of them could produce damaging winds over 60 miles per hour, which could bring down trees, power lines, and cause a whole lot of problems for a lot of folks. And it's not ideal to have that. No one wants to be without power. But here's the good news. Let's say you are one of the unlucky ones that lose your power. It's not going to be so blazing hot over the next few days. We still have more rain coming and some slight potential tomorrow for more severe thunderstorms, but I think it's going to be at a step below. But either way, mid-80s is tolerable if you don't have air conditioning. It will be ungodly humid, but at least it's not going to be horribly, dangerously hot like it's been. All right, I was in the middle of looking up BG&E outages. 1 minute, we're going to see where we're at. And I'll be able to show you one of these others. I'm just checking up on some numbers. Last night we had, I believe, might have been as much as between 60 and 80,000 people without power, or customers, I should say. That's a lot. Right now, BG&E is reporting still a lot of people without power. My gosh. 32, now 33,000? That's a lot. Now, that does include, you know, the entire area, but that is a lot of power outages. Goodness. All right, I'm going to show you guys this visually on our map here. But here we go. So here are power outage numbers. There's a lot of clutter on here. Again, this is just by numbers, by 5,000, but it's better when you can see it by percentage on times, because if you can see it by each. But when it's not that many percentage-wise, but still, 10% of your entire county of Carroll County and Bel Air County, that's too many. But if we wanted to get an idea of rough numbers, 5,500 in Baltimore County, 10,000 in Harford County, 7,000 in Carroll County, and a lot more, 9,000 down there. And that's near Gaithersburg. Again, these are all areas. Baltimore City, it's only showing 800 customers. Again, that's what this map is showing. It may not be as up-to-date as the BG&E power outage map, but I'll put it up beside so you can see it. This is just a lot of numbers out here. I mean, look at all.
On the
So
55,
many.
yeah.
And normally when you look at this map and it's not been a hot summer day and we haven't had storms for 2 and 3 days straight, you might see a few numbers on here. 3 or 4, not everywhere. Yeah. Goodness. I'm sure they're working hard, and it's awful hard for them to get 2 customers when there's so many, and there's weather to stop them. Good luck, guys. Give your linemen at least a thank you. I know many of you probably aren't big fans of BG&E this time of the year. I don't blame you. The bills are going to be outrageous after all that heat, but the linemen are working hard to try to keep your lights on. I know that they are.
The cell in western Howard County about an hour ago had cloud tops over 50,000 feet.
Wow, 50,000.
Yeah.
That's how tall
uncommon
the storms
for
are.
this area.
That is pretty uncommon. I mean, when you have summer storms of this size, I mean, that makes sense. I caught some good pictures. I wish I could show it to everybody, but on the way here, I could see the very tall cumulonimbus cloud and a Peleus on top. A Peleus cloud is this neat-looking feature. It shows that the storm is pushing through a layer of air that they normally can't get through, called the tropopause. And that means the storm is very intense, as if I become this giant man and I'm getting so large and I'm pushing the roof upward that the roof is buckling under how much I'm growing. That's kind of a way to think about it, as if I've just become a giant inside this building and I've become so tall and so massive that I'm breaking through the ceiling itself, breaking through the roof. So Intense storms. Tall storms produce a ton of precipitation, lots of lightning, and oftentimes some very, very heavy rain too. All right, we're going to put this in loop. We may take a break here soon. Of course, everybody has been very weather aware today about what's going on, given especially after yesterday. That was busy. I haven't been able to get my stream back. Oh, okay, it is back. Annapolis, you guys are still in the thick of it. It looks like this cell is missing you right now, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be missed completely. So just because one storm misses you doesn't mean a new one couldn't form. I'm not guaranteeing that everyone's going to get heavy thunderstorms today, but most of us, almost all of us, will see some rain. Might be a small amount, might be a very heavy amount, and much fewer number will see severe thunderstorms. I mean actual damage. But still, the number is high enough, that's why we're here, that we want everyone to be aware, and we don't want anyone caught off guard today, especially after such a busy weekend. But we're hoping everyone is wrapping it up. Yesterday, I think, was more dangerous because we had a lot more people out.
Yeah.
How much time did you spend outdoors yesterday, given how hot it was?
Not that much time. I stayed indoors during the day, stayed cool, and then I was outside at a little gathering last night.
Did they have some way to cool down, a pool or
They
anything?
did have a pool, yes.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
You could not survive out there yesterday
Thank
without
God.
a pool or a sprinkler or a slip and slide or something, because that was brutal. And like I said, 102 degrees, and then the storms really blew up after that. And then the day before, 101 officially at the BWI airport. Other places, it did get hotter. We know that. Joppa Edgewood was hit hard yesterday. Yeah, power outages, trees, lines down, you name it. Thunder is currently rolling again. We're hoping that the same folks don't get hit twice with the same kind of winds, but that is certainly a possibility today as these storms move through. I will say it looks like we're seeing something improving a little bit here. Let's do a quick update. So the southern cell over here near Severn, Odenton, Severna Park has weakened a little bit.
And the cell.
And then the cell to the north has grown. Much stronger. Dundalk getting hammered.
And then west of that, we've weakened too.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh, look at that lightning flash. We're going to check on Towson really quickly. Wow, look at the clouds coming in. There, we're going to pan the camera over there. Put it back over on the other one for a second.
On the harbor?
Yeah, Inner Harbor. So that's what it looks like in Inner Harbor. All right? So that's what we're looking at. Now I'm going to pan the Towson camera over. So go back to Towson. And we're going to look at the edge of the same storm. So here's Towson. And now I'm going to pan the camera over. Look at that.
Wow.
Ooh, I wish that building wasn't in the way. That is a nasty looking cell. Okay, so remember we were saying Towson people, it just looks like a pretty day. What storms? Well, here it is. And this is the one that was clobbering the Inner Harbor, and it still is. We have so many obstructions. I'm sorry, guys. We have a big radio tower there, a big building there, but you get the idea. That looks nasty, huh? We call these SLCs.
A good look at it there.
A very technical term in meteorology. SLC stands for scary looking clouds. And the reason why we just call them scary looking clouds is because they can be scary looking. It doesn't always mean that they're going to be something tornadic. But what we can say with these is these are severe thunderstorms. Be inside. As that cloud edge comes towards you, it's going to turn like this. That's the way it looks right now. This is just mind-blowing. It is as dark as night down there, thunder, lightning, pouring rain, and you can still see what looks like daylight over Towson, and then the storm's coming in. So what a difference. What a difference. The storm's rolling in. I can't be the only one that's impressed by this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to get this kind of difference between Baltimore and Towson, because normally in this, we have storms.
Yeah, the
west to
perspective,
east.
right? They're
So you
west
don't
to
get
east,
that.
and also that makes a big difference. You're exactly right. A lot of times you don't see a big difference between Towson and the Inner Harbor or downtown Baltimore, but this is perspective. This is to prove to you guys how different it can be from one place to another. This is being at two places at once. So again, storms hammering the Inner Harbor, the camera shaking. We do know they're getting some very, very heavy rain. Pardon me. And then at the same time, here it comes to Towson, looking totally different. Watching the edge of those clouds, ragged scud kind of hanging down below it, and it just does look rather impressive out there. And I'm still watching the radar. I'm going to switch over to links 2 briefly, really quickly. Jack, I'm just going to move it in a little bit. So again, these storms are just clobbering them down there. All right, I am clear on links too. So those of you can see me on dual screen, not everyone can, but I'm gonna kind of do this sort of a side-by-side for everybody. Nasty looking storm right here, rolling into Towson, kind of coming in a weird direction from the south. And here comes these storms. Now they're just on the edge, but it still looks like some of the heaviest precipitation is still moving a little bit more easterly. So Essex is about to be absolutely clobbered again. White Marsh looks like you're going to be hit a second time. Everyone on the eastern side of Baltimore City still going to get pretty well hammered as they are doing right now. Why is it I'm always talking about Dundalk? I swear, you guys are storm magnets. You've had tornadoes and everything. Every time we have severe weather, I look at Dundalk and you guys are just getting hammered. I'm a storm chaser. I think I'll just park myself in Dundalk from now on anytime we have storms like this coming through, because this is pretty incredible. All right. Go back to the cameras here, because this is still pretty impressive stuff, isn't it? Any new stuff coming from NWS chat?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. I want to just stay on these clouds just looking incredible. And we're not getting any new updates from you guys. You're welcome at any point in time to send us your reports, your photos. Weather@foxbaltimore.com is a good way to get them to me. That's my email. And that goes to all of us in the weather team too. And if you want to show us, make sure you give us your name and location. Name and location. Try to be as relatively specific, but you don't have to give me your address. But maybe a cross street wouldn't be bad. Take a look at these clouds rolling in. Look at that. Such a powerful looking storm out there. All right. This is the main one. The rest of the area still has storms out there, but they're at a far weaker state. And this one that we're getting such a good look at, that you're seeing right there, is by far the biggest and nastiest.
Yeah, Dundalk getting slammed right now.
Yeah. So send us your reports, even if it's, you know, I got some limbs down in my yard. Photos, good. Video, better, but
Yeah,
don't do it unless you can do it
We just got a video out of Carroll.
Oh, you did? Let's take a look.
Goes to about 40, it looks like.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so on our Fox 45 page, you guys are sending some video in. This is good. We'll see if I can get that to pop up on our screen. Trying to think. I think I can pull that up, actually.
Okay.
I think I know a way to do that, and I'll pull it up in just a moment. Some video coming in. Again, the winds we know are pretty gnarly. And I'm just looking at a few other things out there. I want to try to spin the camera around again. We're watching these heavy clouds, but the storm is missing a little bit to the east. So that's where it's really happening. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, bad in Pasadena.
Pasadena, yeah.
Again.
So you guys are no stranger to storms after last night. I mean, these are nothing new. The opening ceremony Cup are just now happening, and many of you are watching the World Cup. You're going to have to deal with that bug and crawl. That's over the top. We'll try to keep it off the scoreboard, don't worry, but this is important stuff when we have severe weather coming through. Amazing. All right, let me see if I can pull up the Facebook post. I think I still have it. We're having some internet issues here, guys, so I hope that I'm hoping it'll still work. It's showing me that I'm live over here, so I'm going to go by what I'm seeing on my phone, even though it's just not wanting to cooperate tonight. Technology, it's a lot of fun sometimes. We're running this whole thing on our own, so we're doing the best we can. So I'm going to try to pull up that video here for you guys. It's not going to have audio, I don't think, but at least I'll be able to pull up the video that just went to our pages. And again, you can send us anything that you see. email is the best way to do it. All right, so here's this video. Full screen. While we're seeing thunder and lightning off to one side, you're seeing the video here. So impressive stuff there. Again, that's Carroll County, so that's not even in this cluster that we're seeing right now. That was from those storms earlier. Those winds look like they're at least 40 to 50. Yeah, they're bending those trees over quite a bit. So I'll say estimated gusts 40 to 50 here. So far, their pool basketball goals seems to be staying upright. I don't know if that's permanently affixed. The flags are staying up. That's good. Y'all have a very pretty setup for 4th of July. I'll give you credit for you guys. But in the meantime, now we're getting the worst of these storms that are coming in too. What do you think? Another one. Let's see what this one is. This must be the new warning for that same storm. Severe thunderstorm warning, Baltimore County. Checking in on that now. Hasn't populated yet, but it will in just a minute. It's probably this guy right here, going just north of Towson, Cockeysville. Oh, no, it's not.
No.
Shocker.
Wow.
We didn't guess that
Harford
one.
County's
I thought it would be
on.
this one. No, they're warning it for the cell's propagation up I-95. That does include Aberdeen, Joppatown, and Bel Air. So that's until 10 o'clock. This cell is starting to really grow, and that's why I was thinking maybe they would warn this one, but they haven't yet.
Might be coming soon, though.
That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry, I keep zooming out so fast, I keep losing my position. Because that one was a nothing, and then boom, it just blew up. Inside this very heavy rain and hail core, this is not too far away from my house, so I'm interested in seeing what's going on here, because woof, that's some heavy stuff. I'm just gonna take a quick peek at my cameras at my house. I've got some of those ring cameras. I just want to see what it looks like out there. See if it's hail or if it's wind or what. You can still pan around on the radar here. Just very dark. The wind is a little gusty at my house, but it's not terribly heavy yet. That's gonna be coming soon. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Very, very dark where my home is over here in northern Baltimore County. I'm not too far away from the I-83 exit over here. So these storms are going to continue to roll on up. And you can see the direction that this one's going, but it doesn't mean that it's going to always take this direction. But so far, that's the propagation that it's going right now. And just as one big cell dies, a new one forms.
A new one forms and might be going
this is why
a
it's
different
such
direction.
chaos, and it's almost impossible to predict when it's going to hit. But as you can see, there's going to be very few areas that go completely untouched by rain tonight. Still nothing there, but we're going to keep watching the radar, and I'm going to keep watching these cameras because these, gosh, dark as
Quite the show.
night. And it's just constant lightning. We're going to count the lightning strikes here. Oh, this is looking, I believe this is looking northeast from Towson. Nonstop. All right, here's going to be the fun part. I'm going to pause this. We're going to just see how many lightning strikes. You're not going to be able to see the storms. There's going to be so many lightning strikes. Good Lord. Okay, and the lightning counter.
It's all of them, too.
That's
It's not just the...
850 strikes in just the last 15 minutes. If I spread the picture out over all these storms, it's showing
They're all producing a lot of
900,
lightning.
it's over 1,000. This one's going pretty hard now, and it's just going up even further. Interesting, there's not many lightning coming out of that one yet. All right. So they've trimmed off some of these other ones. So it looks like Severna Park, you're escaping some of the worst of that cell. It was coming right at you guys, and then just skirts right by Severna Park, which is also, again, leaving Annapolis untouched for now. Doesn't mean it couldn't happen. Looking to see if it's hailing at my house. It doesn't look like hail. This looks like very heavy rain. Everyone's getting a good drink of water out of this. That's the hope. Oh, another hail report.
Okay.
It's a little bit
One of
under
the first
quarter
ones,
size.
yeah.
That's about nickel size hail. 0.8 inches. More flooding reports coming out. So far, at least the damage reports have been few. but we're going to continue to check in because I do know that, again, a lot of people are just getting hammered in these winds.
Still,
Yeah,
still
Dundalk to
gusting
Essex,
high.
that's still some strong winds. Looks like it just missed Dundalk to the east. You see the brighter reds? So we're watching this. These are the higher velocities. This is where some of the stronger winds would probably be. Looks like Dundalk could still have been hit by some of the stronger ones for a moment, but that's where the big stuff is hitting, and it's going up to Essex. So it's in some of those
Middle River area.
bay areas along the bay. So some of you guys are just getting hit very hard, I know. I don't see any hail falling in my house. That's the good news. You don't want to see that.
So there wasn't much lightning with it either.
No, not so. It's still developing, so it's not quite as electrical as all the others. But this is a big storm happening still here. So again, are we going to see the exact same kind of winds as last night's? Probably not. Are we going to have some damage? Yeah. There's definitely going to be some. But right now, they may be underperforming. But that's okay. I mean, we're totally okay if storms underperform, but the environment is so similar, we don't want it to be something that produces identically as it did yesterday, but it could still come close to that, right?
Yeah.
Anything to add? Anything that's coming in over the... I haven't heard any questions or comments from YouTube chat or anything.
No.
Bernie getting hit a little hard right now.
I'll check Facebook real quick.
A lot of people talking about dust devils. That's interesting. Yeah, if you see anything on Facebook, let me know. Do you have our YouTube up as well? I'm sure there's some comments coming across the YouTube. Hopefully get some new ones coming in. Nothing coming across?
Just some Facebook
Yeah.
users saying Dundalk got hit pretty hard.
Oh, I think we can believe that.
With what just
Very heavy rain. I mean, torrentially heavy. You get these in the summertime, but to have them back to back like yesterday, that's not an easy thing to do. And in other parts of the country, the south, the west, the Midwest, this kind of thing happens every week. But around here, you don't get as many bad days like this all at once.
And we might be dealing with another one possibly tomorrow. I know.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
But still,
You're
same pattern
exactly right.
Slow-moving
So let's,
storms.
while we're still tracking this, we don't have an update on the radar yet, but as you can see, it's going right up 95. So Bel Air, Edgewood, you guys, you live Joppatown, Aberdeen, Proving Grounds, all these areas, and you can take it all the way to Cecil County if you want. Please go ahead and take this, as this is going to be a severe thunderstorm, just like the ones that you might have seen yesterday with damaging winds. They can do the exact same thing tonight. We, so far, are not seeing many reports. That's great. If we continue to have that, we're happy about that. Keeps everyone's power on, and it means that they don't have to go back and they're running behind when it comes to repairing people's power. We know that. They are working so hard, and there's still so much to be done. So they don't want any additional work, those linemen. But with everything happening, we at least have to talk about the next few days. So again, the severe thunderstorm watch is officially in effect until 1 a.m. The harder you're hit now, the going down the road later in the next few hours, anything successful or successively, meaning other storms, will probably not be as powerful. If you've not been hit really hard yet, it's still possible. And then we have the flood watch in effect until 1 a.m. too. This is going to start transitioning from a severe weather threat into a flooding threat, and to be honest with you, that could be more of a problem today than even the damaging winds, but that may come a little bit later. Going to update this. Yeah, go ahead.
The one over Middle River, the warning just got updated to 70 mile per hour.
Oh, goodness.
That's possible.
70 mile per hour winds possible with the one in Middle River, so I'll quickly go back to that. All right. Oh, we have a new warning over here. We'll talk about that. All right, so they're still thinking that this cell is going to be possible 70 mile per hour wind gusts, which we were looking on the velocity, and there it is. You can see some of that. Now, these are not going to give us a good idea because, again, these winds are coming down. They're estimating between 40 and 50 right there, but that does not translate to what comes out of the storm. This is just radar indicated, and the radar does not have a good sense of exactly the strength of these winds that are smaller in scale. But either way, Middle River, Dundalk, Essex, you guys could be getting hammered with some very, very heavy rain and very strong winds, up to 70 miles per hour with this particular severe storm, which is also headed towards Harford County. And that warning is in effect until 10 o'clock. New warning out for Kent County. This is kind of interesting. I'm guessing they're expecting the propagation to go a little bit over towards them. Yeah, you can see the one that's crossing the bay. It's kind of giving a little bit going across the northern parts of the bay, and that's going to likely clip northern Kent County. So that warning is in effect until 10 o'clock. We'll give you a quick update on, again, the overall idea, as we've been talking about, that things were just going to get worse and worse as we move through 9 and 10 and 11 o'clock. So 9 o'clock, we have storms everywhere still. 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we're starting to see them spread more towards eastern Maryland instead of hitting us just here. And as we go a little bit later, now we're talking about them still hitting eastern Maryland, but everything's sort of settled down a little bit by 1 a.m. But we could still have ongoing pockets of flooding happening, meaning water that has not receded yet. So keep that in mind. Even though the storm may be over, there could be lots of flooding out there. And I hate having to do this, but I have to give an obligatory statement that I don't like having to make, because by now, everyone should know this. Don't drive through floodwaters. Please don't drive through floodwaters. You're putting yourself at risk, and at the very least, you're putting your car at risk. It only takes about 8 inches of rain, sometimes maybe 12 inches, where it can get sucked into the engine, ruin your car, completely ruin. Even if you got insurance, that's not fun to be without. So you can find an alternate route usually to where you're going, and it doesn't require driving through floodwaters, stalling out your car, and leading to people having to come rescue you or putting your life in danger. It's just not worth it. Most of the deaths that we see from flooding are from people in their cars. It's a shame. It shouldn't happen. Please use some common sense tonight. And anytime there's flooding, just don't drive through it. Take the 1 to 2 minutes of extra time in your life, save your car, save your life, and go around. Just find an alternate route. But as much as I say that, there's going to be some fools in there that, and I'm calling them fools, I'm sorry, calling you fools, that drive straight through it and get themselves stuck, and it requires emergency services to come out and get them a lot of times. Tow truck drivers and all of that like. We could still see substantial rainfall from all of these, 2 to 3 inches or higher, locally higher amounts. And again, the rain is a wonderful thing because we're still technically in a drought. Hard to believe, but I know the severe weather threat is not great. Dundalk is getting hammered. My house is rocking. I believe it. Believe it or not. Oh, yeah. Hi, Gerald Satterwhite. I call him Gerald Satterwhite. He's actually a meteorologist in Birmingham, Alabama for the Weather Service. And he's following the live stream right now just to give me his opinions on things. Gerald and I have been storm chasing for some time. Wow. And in Birmingham, Alabama, things are busy. Here's the good news, folks. It's not going to be so hot tomorrow or the next few days. We get a break. The rain's going to still linger, which we need. It's not going to be beautiful days. Keep the rain gear around. We still do have a small severe risk tomorrow, but it's definitely going to be at a lower threat level than today. But the temperatures are coming down. We made it. If you survived it, good. We're at least going to be in the 80s tomorrow, which is going to be far more tolerable, and that does include folks that might still be without power or lose power from tonight. We'll go back and show you the power outages update in just a minute. Back to the cameras. Anything to update?
No.
We're good right now? We're going to cut the stream here in just a short time. We know that everyone is still watching what's going on, but at the same time, we're going to have to take a break here and there. And we'll be able to cover things again further if it continues to give us anything of note. We've actually been live for the last hour and a half. So I think we've been going for quite a while. All right. One more look out the Inner Harbor. Any improvements? Oh, yeah. Look at that. It almost looks like it didn't happen.
Yep.
That's incredible. We know the Inner Harbor got hammered. The lightning activity is pretty incredible. I pan the camera up a little bit to see what we can catch. Hey, if you're a storm lover, this is your fun. Yeah, Megan's here. I'm sorry, Abby's here. Okay. We're gonna have to pull the live stream. We got to do some side work here. We're gonna be hustling to get the news back together, and we are going to be back on with you guys a little bit later on to update you with anything that's happening. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick look again up at the storms, but these severe thunderstorms are continuing to travel up I-95. At least Baltimore City starting to get a little bit of clearing for now, but it is an absolute fireworks show out there. Gosh. So if you didn't have any 4th of July fireworks, no problem. Mother Nature has provided them for us for 2 nights in a row. She's saying, happy birthday, America. Happy 250th. That's incredible. All right, we are going to turn the stream loose. Again, we'll do one more quick update for the current severe thunderstorm warnings, but at least Baltimore City is almost pretty much out of the severe thunderstorm warning, except for far on the edge, Middle River, Essex, Dundalk getting the end of it. But that's until 9:15, then it goes up towards Joppatown, Perry Hall is getting hit with it now, and then into Harford County until 10 o'clock. Still some very heavy rain over there up near Timonium, Cockeysville, Towson. You guys are still getting hit hard. And then we still have the storms across the bay. So